What's going on, everybody, and thanks for clicking on the video. Quickly, before we get into whatever player you clicked on, these are going to be quick 2 to 3 minute breakdowns on whatever player you need for fantasy football. So if you're late into your research and you don't have a million hours to spend, this is the video for you. So stay tuned, click the playlist below for other players' breakdowns. Thanks for watching, enjoy the video. Amon-Ra St. Brown comes in as my wide receiver 6 this year, and this isn't a knock on Amon-Ra. I think he is a really great player. I have a couple little itty bitty concerns with the slot receiver being a fantasy #1 receiver. Will he get enough downfield targets to be successful? He didn't get that many last year of really deep targets. I mean, his average depth per target or average target was like 7.5 yards. So he's not getting a ton of vertical shots, but that's not the player he is, right? He is a slot underneath, 5 to 10 yards, catch the ball and get some yak. And that's cool, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown is a good player. For me, those guys just haven't proven to be year after year after year reliable, right? We have years with some Keenan Allen and some guys like Wes Welker and Julian Edelman, right? Those have been the most consistent guys. But then you get the one-year wonders of like Michael Thomas and I mean, can you really even think of anyone else that's been a really great #1 top 10 slot receiver in fantasy football? It's hard to imagine. So that's where my hesitation comes from. In a year like this past season, he had 150 or 164 targets, 120 catches for 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns. Not saying he can't do it again, but the slot receiver is a very, very hard position to score touchdowns from and to be a big downfield, receiver. Where he differs I just kind of talked a lot of crap on him. I still think he's awesome, right? I mean, 1,500 yards is nothing to slouch about. What you get from Amon-Ra St. Brown is consistency. Comparing him to A.J. Brown, who are pretty much going back to back in every pair of rankings you see. For instance, like A.J. Brown had games of 29, 8, 37, 56, 53, 9. He had some dud games where Amon-Ra St. Brown literally had 2 games the entire year under 50 yards. Everything else was above 50. So, and I mean, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 100-yard games. So it's not like he provides no upside. But for me, I would rather go with someone like A.J. Brown, where I just feel more confident in him getting, more targets down the field and can be more of a league winner in sense of, I don't think Amon-Ra St. Brown can ever be more than what he was. I think this year was probably a peak year for him, where I can see A.J. Brown just consistently being a downfield, monster, where he could just catch bombs all day. Amon-Ra St. Brown doesn't possess that. So if Amon-Ra St. Brown next year comes out and gets 130 targets, he might kind of be a dud as a first-round pick. But I have 100% faith that he can be 170 targets again like he was last year. So I just talked a lot of crap on Amon-Ra St. Brown, but I think he's a good player in an offense that's set up for him to succeed in Detroit. I mean, they want to give him the ball. So I think if you want the consistent play, you go with someone like Amon-Ra St. Brown. And if you want to go with the more upside play, I think it's A.J. Brown easily. So choose your battles, pick your poison, and pick a guy.